What do you think agents are missing right now when they bring a product, aka, a new listing to the market? You mentioned video early on, right? What do you think now that maybe you have identified that agents are lacking or not doing?
Some agents do this, but I think that it's every house, typically, but particularly in luxury properties, it's not so much when you're in a $399 house that's very similar to everything in the neighborhood, but every house typically has something that stands out as being really awesome. One of my recent listings had like a $400,000 pool in the backyard. So what I really wanted to do is I wanted to take people immediately into the backyard. Yeah. So the primary photograph was not the front elevation of the house. And I think that when we're so accustomed to looking online and swiping and swiping and swiping, you want to stop with what really makes that house desirable or sets it apart from the neighbors. If it's the great room, if it's an amazing fireplace, if it's a kitchen, or if it sits on a lake and you can pull that in, make that be the first image. And also with your video, I recently did a video where I didn't start at the front door like everybody does. I said, hey, this kitchen is amazing, and I want to start in the kitchen because you're going to fall in love with it. So to dissect what it is that's going to really stand out to consumers about that product.
I think that's fantastic. And I think that also is a sales.
I lost audio.
I think that's fantastic. And I think that that's a good sales tactic as well as you're walking through the home with a client, right? Where are you having that last conversation? Is it in that room or that feature of the house that really stands out that has that wow factor to it, right? Or are you always having it on the front driveway, right? Like, put them in that environment or that room that has originally gravitated them to want to look at that property or that stands out with that property. And I think that's important because you're going to put them in there and they're going to actually start visualizing, especially if you're talking about writing an offer, right? They're going to see themselves in that room as you're talking about, okay, well, what do we want to offer? What terms, right? All of those things. So I think that's spot on. And I don't see many agents doing it that way like you have done it, right? It's always been pretty standard of front photo of the house, not necessarily the video starting in the kitchen, right?
Right.
That's it. I've never done that, right? So now I'm going to start thinking differently about it.
Well, there's a lot of agents that's raising the bar, and I don't know if Tara Shoaf has been on your show or not, but she's really investing heavily in storytelling, and she's using Timothy at Orange Visuals, and they do some fantastic work. And I think that's another thing that we as professionals have to do is we have to raise the bar within our own brokerage and within our own sphere of people that we work with to demand higher quality stuff going out that makes us all look like professionals rather than there's nothing that makes me cringe more than cell phone photographs on an MLS listing. It's just crazy.